Hi guys, welcome back to the Daily Dreamer. Oh my gosh, these dreams right now, this week, dreams driving me nuts, they're driving me crazy. I've been having some serious dreams, and I'm sure those of you out there that are lucid dreamers as well have been having just as much fun with your dreams as have I. I did get a request though to do a short segment on lucid dreaming itself. And so I will do that coming up for you. So, God, Kate, thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. I will do one just for you. But let's get back to this one because there's a lot in this one that we have to discuss. Okay, guys, it starts out and I am going into like a subway station. This is the same now new playground that has appeared 2 or 3 times for me. It's an inside mall type thing. But this one, in order to get into it, it was like a subway. It was within a subway station. I was trying to get to a destination. I have no idea. I just knew that I had to get to a house. That's all I knew. So, but getting into the subway station to get to the house, I had to do, okay, so you had to do a running start up to like a broken stair type thing. So you had to do a running start, you had to jump, and then you got to the top of the hill. Then you had to duck down really quick to go on these escalators that went down into the subway station. It was like some Indiana Jones type stuff. It was weird. And of course, naturally, I succeeded because it's dreamland. Why wouldn't I succeed? Anyway, so I get into the subway station, and there's that familiar mall layout, if you will. So the one of the first things that I ended up doing was I ended up going to this country club, okay? And it was a country club that it was empty when I arrived there. Imagine a country club inside a subway station. But it was empty when I arrived there, and I remember going up to the waitress and saying, I have something that I need to deliver. And she goes to get the person that I need to deliver it to. I didn't even tell her who it was. I don't even know who it was. But I had these, you know, those chocolate candy round circles that are dipped in sprinkles. I had those chocolate dipped candies that I had to deliver. That's what I had to deliver. And I remember dropping one of them on the ground, and I thought it was like the 5-second rule. So I get down there and I pick it up, and I notice it's got hair and stuff on it. So I quickly take the hair off before the person comes back. I don't even know if the person came that I was supposed to deliver them to, but I remember not wanting to leave until I delivered it. She had come back at that point, and she said something. So I don't know if I left the candy with her, but the next thing I know is that I'm walking out of the clubhouse, and now it's filled with elder gentlemen, all sitting there sipping their bourbons, their whiskeys, their scotches. And the impression that I got walking through, as it's filled now, was that they were waiting for their mistresses. I don't know. Anyways, all right. So then I ended up going into another room in this subway. Now, mind you, the whole time I'm trying to figure my way out of this subway station. I have no clue how to get out. So I'm just trying to make my way. So I end up going into another room where apparently you have to write down some answers to these choices that you're given. So I'm now sitting at a table with other people. And the TV is faced this way. And I remember because there were other kids over here or people, and we were all writing our answers down. And I was like, who can see the TV to be able to see what to write down for choices? And so I remember the gentleman, the moderator, supervisor, I don't know. He walks over to the TV and he adjusts it just like a millimeter. Like it didn't even do any good. So I don't even know why he bothered, but whatever. At that point then, I do remember now at this point, I am, wait a minute, I got to go to my notes. Okay. On the way out, okay, I knew I was close because there was a person directing people, okay, which was the first time in the dream. So on the way out, I happened to notice that same waitress from the country club, but this time now she is hooking a tiny baby, like a toddler, if you will, up to an IV. The IV, you know how normally they have like all the tube is really long. It was not long. It was only like this big. And I remember the baby being fussy about it. The baby did not want to be hooked up to this IV. Over in the corner, I looked over and I see the mom who was sitting there robotically, just like this, right? No reaction, no nothing. And the baby is upset. The baby is frustrated. The baby is crying out. And so when the waitress succeeds. She turns her back to leave the room. The baby jumps down off of the thing. And I remember saying, stop the baby. And the baby's it ran. So it ripped out of him. And when I said, stop the baby looks back at me and says, no, please don't. Bad mom, bad mom. And I'm like, and I'm looking over at the mom who is just literally like sitting there like a robot. And she's not doing anything. So I let I be quiet so that no one's alerted, because the baby did not want to be hooked up to this IV. And I let the baby go. And at this point now I'm out. Now I'm out of the subway, just automatically out. And I'm in a big SUV, huge SUV. Ironically, this SUV is being driven by not me. Okay, I'm going to say clones. Okay, clones. They had to have been clones. Clones of the Kardashians, which I have no idea where that one came from. But one of them was not nice. She was very mean. And I remember her. Her back is faced towards the window shield of this huge SUV. And she is, so you have the driver over here, the mean Kardashian over here. And then I'm facing this way. And then there's another person this way. So, okay. She's reading a text that she misinterprets. She got mad because someone drew a stick figure on a piece of paper, but it was a joke for her to enjoy, not take it as she did, which was offensively. And so she talks about how she's going to kick their ass, but whatever. And the other clone was agreeing with her and went to go make a comment about a text she received about how naive people were, if you will, but she didn't quite say it that gently. Anyways, as she goes to fetch her text, I'm kind of freaking out because, well, one, I'm not driving, but around us, there are broken roads, literally everywhere, except for the small one that we were on. And it was filled with mud and gravel because someone broke a water main. And there's chaotic cars trying to turn around, beeping, just all kinds of chaos around us. Broken roads, no signs of where to go, how to get out, no nothing. I'm still searching for that place that I need to get to, that house. I have no address of destination, okay? Well, as she goes to fetch her text, she turns while she's doing that. And I scream, watch the road. She turns, she looks up at the last minute. We reach the exit of the subway station, of which people are now having to duck down to come out, and they're in a seated position as they come out. So they're like on escalators, but sitting down and having to duck. And so when they get out, she almost, when she turns, runs into a person. And she says, well, how the heck are we supposed to get out of here? Because all the roads were broken. And so I happen to look over it. Now, you guys know those big trucks that have those wheels that deal with the terrain? They move with the terrain and the bumps. Yeah, it was one of those kind of trucks. He was making his way just fine through all of the hills and whatnot. And I remember saying, there is no way we are going to make it through that. Okay, well, at that point, now we're trying to turn around to try to navigate our way out. I remember texting to try to find an address of where I need to go so that I can just bail out and get there. But at that point, I was whisked back to consciousness. What a dream, folks. And so what does it all mean? Okay, let's go through this real quick. I think it is asking us to finally sit and be honest with ourselves on who we really are. Think about it, the clones and the robots. Every day we go out in society, we put those masks on. We do the robotic actions of the same thing each and every single day. All right? At what point does it become so overwhelming for you because you know that going out there is nothing of who you are in here, right? And this is screaming. And I think that's what it is. It's asking us to sit and be honest with ourselves. The problem is that most of us don't know how to do that, because how many of us actually even know who we are without one of those masks on? Here's the problem with that. We don't want to deal with it. Want to know why? Because then we have to deal with the consequences come as a result. In other words, people whose lives we have touched as a result of us putting those old masks on. And that's not an easy cross to bear, because it's going to require you sitting and dealing with some serious truths. Okay? And mentally, physically, spiritually, it is going to be grueling. Oh, the haters will come. Oh, you will be hated. Oh, you will be shamed. And who wants to feel shamed and humiliated? None of us do. It's a risk of vulnerability. And there we go again, getting humiliated, belittled. You know, people are so afraid of all of that coming at them when all they want to do is feel love to begin with, let alone have to go through this torture. But this torture is a transformation process, folks. Wake up. It's time for you to shed your old beliefs. You are not who you were. Things have changed. You have changed. You can feel it. You know, you're working harder to keep the illusion, maintaining the illusion. And that's not going to work out, because it's either going to break you or you're going to be able to use it and use it as a breakthrough. So how are you going to deal with it? All right, so let's move on, because I only got a little bit of time here. Okay, so the problem is this, the fear. The fear is lingering in the background, and that's not good. Let's discuss fear. There's all kinds of fears. There's a fear of failure, fear of lacking, fear of wanting that self-security, that well-being for us, for our kids. There's fear of death. There's even there's phobias, fears of heights, fear of spiders, all kinds. These are powerful drivers that affect our brain, and it keeps us looped in the same cycle. Well, I'm afraid of stepping outside because I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. Best just keep it safe. That's the wrong way to do it, guys, because it's going to eventually overtake you. The fear, once you start getting over the fear, now you're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel guilt because, well, you're moving on and others aren't, and shame on you for doing so. You're going to have all kinds of things that you're going to have to go through. It's not going to be an easy process. It's not something that's done overnight. All right? From there, you're going to feel shamed. Who wants to feel shamed and humiliated? You know, it hurts so much for us to feel this way that we just go ahead and we bury it under layers of deceit just so that we can keep functioning in society. And that is not good, guys. That's not the best antidote here. All right? Because like I said, they will manifest themselves into just utter chaos for you. Mentally, it's not going to work out. That's why you got to have a great sense of humor to be able to get through life, because there will be haters. Yes, sir. And I'm telling you, get them in line. Start taking names. All right, we're all messes inside. But how many of us actually have the courage to stand up and figure it out and go, you know what? I'm okay with this mess. I'm okay with it. So just go on. It's time to shed the old beliefs for the new you to come through. Guys, there is so much fear out there. But once you get past that and the shaming and the guilt, and the hardest part, the hardest of it all, is dealing with the people that whose lives have been affected, because that in itself will be the test for you. But once that test is able to be overcome and you're able to mend and heal afterwards, okay, because that will happen, everything is going to be so much better for you and for those ones that are around you. Anyways, guys, until next time, thanks so much for joining me for the dream. Many blessings to you.